welcome you to our Candid Conversation for today. We are in our mission house here on the campus of Back Bay Mission with Adrienne from Pennsylvania, from Friedens. You're from Sumneytown, right, Pennsylvania, or no?
I'm from Philadelphia.
You're from oh, that's right. You're from Philly. North, east, west, south?
Just about 10 miles south of the city.
Okay, great. So from Philadelphia, the city of brotherly, sisterly love, right? Yeah, I think that's what Philadelphia is known for. So just really happy you're here. You've been here for the first time at Back Bay Mission, kind of experiencing what we do. So tell us a little bit about what you do, what your life's work is, and give us a little context about your life.
So I am a mom. I have a 13 and a 16-year-old. Very demanding job. Busy, working mom like everybody is. So I think my mission has always been whatever. I have done different, worked with different volunteer groups, done different fundraising things, and they vary. A lot of them, what's near and dear to my heart is a lot of women's groups. There's a group that I'm a part of called Purses Full of Hope, and we fill bags with feminine products and toiletries for women. But all of it's important, but a really important piece is that we put a note in there. So it's from woman to woman, and it's a note of inspiration. Another woman cares about you. You're loved. I'm praying for you. Just to inspire, and just to, when maybe you feel at your worst time, somebody else gave you this bag, and it's full of hope.
Well, that's beautiful. Are they actually purses, or?
They can be purses. They can be a bag. They can be a backpack. So any kind of.
It's kind of for women living in poverty,
so it's for women's shelters. It's for domestic abuse shelters, primarily for women and children.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. And again, I think that's so helpful because those are things that we often take for granted, right? Feminine products and just those things that women need that are really particular to women is really critical. I know we have a center. Back Bay Mission gave birth to the Center for Nonviolence, which was originally focused on specifically women. Now, of course, also includes men that are victims of domestic violence and also same-sex violence. So they really run the gamut, and actually human trafficking too. That's a great organization here, and they're always in need of those items, which are really cool.
You take it for granted as a woman. You say, I'm going to go to the store, I need products or underwear or things like that. And a lot of times when you are at a shelter, there's bags and bags of clothes, but not so much products like, and there's food, but not so much products like that, or underwear and things like that. And you take it for granted that you just go to the store and buy what you need.
So what motivates you to give in that way, or to be somebody that's kind of socially aware of those issues? Because many people just kind of ignore that, or they live in their own place of privilege or abundance, and they don't really care about people who live in scarcity. So what's given you that heart and spirit to do that with?
I think I'm just very empathetic by nature, and so when I see somebody that's homeless or I see somebody that's struggling, it's in my nature to help, and it's not in my nature necessarily to question or to judge. It's just somebody's in need and I want to help. And sometimes it's not even big projects. Sometimes it's just a small project. On Christmas Eve a few years ago, my son was 12 or 13 at the time, and he said, let's go out and give some food and blankets to homeless people around Philadelphia.
Wow.
So my first thought was, I do this huge dinner for Christmas Eve, we're busy, I have all these things to do, and I paused and I said, this is like my child coming to me saying he wants to do this. We'll make the time, we'll do it. So we made sandwiches, we got blankets. The really meaningful part of that wasn't that we just, handed out to the door. We stopped, we had conversations, we learned a lot about people, and there were some lessons that we learned, and especially as a young, I don't know if it was like 12 or 13, but a kid, to hear stories that this isn't just a random. I think that's really important for people to learn. This isn't just a random face on the street or somebody who made a bad decision. Like, this is a person, and there was a circumstance that got them here, and they're no different than anyone else. We're all connected, and we're all just humanity.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's what that's something I feel like has been indicative for me of the work that I do with my life, has been that we're all in this together, that we're all a part of humanity, we're all tied. And Martin Luther King said we're in this this connected, right, web of life together. And I think that's so critical we understand that, because every life matters, and every person matters, and because we're all children of God. And I'm a big proponent of Black Lives Matter too, and I would never say, well, why don't you say all lives matter? Because I think Black Lives matter because they've especially been oppressed and not given the opportunities. But I think in many ways, I see that also with people that are homeless. I know we thought about starting some sort of kind of program that says the homeless people matter, right? Because oftentimes they aren't seen as really as good as, or as worthy, or whatever, right? And so, or even sometimes in our philanthropy, or when we give to people that are homeless or in shelter, we're like, well, they should take whatever we give them. When in essence, we should respect them enough to say, what is it you want? How can I help you? And do you like Crest, or do you want, Colgate? So I think that's really important.
And I think your pantry shows that. I worked in the pantry a few days ago, and it was different from other work that I've done. Or they've had like prepackaged boxes, which is nice. That was nice. To walk through, I had such great conversations. There was a mom there. She had her 2 kids that were similar to my kids. And you hear like, what kind of stuff do you like? Or I learned recipes from people. Or I said, oh, what do you, how are you going to make that? Or to hear somebody say, oh, I really love this, but I don't like this so much.
Yeah.
And they felt like, I can pick the string beans and I don't have to take the carrots because I don't like the carrots. It seems like a really minor thing, but as a mom, I want to go to the grocery store and pick things my kids didn't like. So why does that matter? It's the same thing, like, you can pick what you want for your kids.
Yeah, and that's really empowering, right? Empowering and life-giving. That's the ice machine in the bag, in case you're wondering what that is. So, what's been most life-giving for you? Your first time here at Back Bay Mission, what's been most life-giving and encouraging for you?
I think it's a connection to humanity. I came here with a group of friends that have done this before, and I felt not so confident in my skill set. I'm not very handy. If I can learn, and I thought it was about the work and the tools and what I learned. So the first day I was on the site, and I tried. I kind of felt I was useful, but maybe not as useful as I wanted to be. And then the second day I was in the pantry, and what I learned is my tool is my heart. So I may not be like electric, powered or battery powered, but that's
powerful.
Yeah, to like connect and like to help a homeless person, or tell her, you have the most beautiful hair. The woman came in, or to hear a mom tell me a recipe she was going to make with her kids, and just to connect, because I really don't know if a lot of people have conversations with people who are homeless, because I think they judge them in a certain way.
Yeah.
Or they just, like throw money at them or throw this or throw them, and just to connect. So that felt really empowering. And then the second part, I feel like sometimes my gift is to inspire people. So I have a whole group of friends back home, and they would love to do something like this. Or maybe, same as me, they may feel a little bit intimidated. So to tell them, it's not just about you're on a construction site and you have to be handy and a carpenter and all these things, but there's a pantry and there's a shelter and there's a place with the medical center where people can shower, and you're guiding them through that, I think, inspiration.
That's really powerful. That's something I honestly will take with me from this conversation, that you realize it wasn't working with power tools, with a hammer, but the best tool you have is your heart, the biggest tool you have. What a powerful statement, right? Because real honestly, I wish all of us were in that place, right? That we could say, my biggest tool is my ability to give, which is really, it's incredibly powerful. And you're right. I think when volunteers come down, a lot of volunteer work they do is with tools and hammers, but we have so much more here that people can participate in. And that is as important, because all of it's just really giving back to people, right? And like you said, to tell a woman who is experiencing homelessness or poverty or whatever it is, right, to say you have beautiful hair or you have beautiful eyes, or that's a beautiful shirt, that's such incredibly powerful. Words are powerful.
Yeah.
They're so powerful, and especially words of compassion and mercy and kindness. I I just think like if there would ever be a worldwide movement of really us helping to kind of change the way we talk to each other, communicate with each other, and speak to each other is really, really powerful, right? To use words of compassion and mercy and kindness instead of words of anger. Right now we have such a polarized culture, right? And you're either Republican or Democrat, and there's nothing in between. And you're either this or that, you're black and white, and you're right or wrong. And it's so polarizing, but just if we learn to use our words in ways that give life, I think that's incredibly important.
We're all connected, and we're all just wanting the same things. And despite what your circumstances, as a woman, as a mom, I want the same thing that woman was you want the best for your kids, and you want to feel safe, and you want to feel loved, and you want to feel at peace.
Yeah.
That's really important. Another thing I did in the pantry is I wrote little notes, and I put them in each little bag, and just wrote like somebody's praying for you, or you are loved, or I believe in you. And so when I maybe got to the bottom of the bag, it just was a little post-it note.
Wow.
Maybe it brought them some kind of joy or some kind of happiness.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I think that's really critical. That probably has touched a lot of lives as Hispanics running the pantry. So really appreciate that. It's a great idea for our staff to be doing that.
Little notes.
Yeah.
You know what else I did yesterday? I took a picture. I had once I got to the second day of the job, and I knew the work order, or the order of the work to put the siding on. We measured it, and then cut it, and then used the air gun.
Yeah.
So the pieces that went up against her house, it's Miss Janet, whose house we're working on. She had come out. We met her. She was a great woman, and I wrote little messages on the siding too. There's a mantra I had repeated to myself last year when I'd gone through some hard things. It was, I am safe and protected and guided and loved and healthy and abundant. So I shifted it and wrote, Dear Miss Janet, and then all those things. You are loved, you are protected, you are guided, you are safe, you are healthy, you are abundant. And that went on our house, and I just feel like we made that in peace and good.
Did it go kind of behind the?
It's on the siding, but it was on the back of the siding, so it went against your house.
I think, and I believe in the power of that type of energy, right? That type of affirmation.
Yep.
Even though she may not see it, it's there, right? And I think to feel safe, to feel protected, to feel loved. I feel that everyone, as well as like a human right is for me to have food, to have water, clean water, right? To have a roof over your head, but also to have compassion and to have love, right? To actually feel loved. I think that's a human right. And I think that's a beautiful thing to be able to say. So here's my mantra. It may be covered up, but it's still there, right? It's still surrounding me, protecting.
And I feel like I wanted this for me, and this is what helped me, and now I want this for you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
This needed to help you.
So you got to use power tools?
I did.
Yeah.
Second day on the job, I felt I had a whole system. I measured, I cut the cement plank, put it in, used the nail gun.
Yeah. First time?
First time ever, yeah.
Yep.
And
That's
once
cool.
you have a little bit of confidence and you learn, and the project manager Chance that is on site is remarkable. He's very patient, and he taught us. Some of our group had a little more background and knew, but he taught me this is how you measure, this is how you cut, this is why you want it to be like this.
That's great. That's great.
So I have a whole side of the house that I call my side that I did.
Wow.
Very proud of it.
Wow, that's exciting. I mean, that it sounds like you've had a lot of really gratifying and opportunities to bless others, but also to bless yourself, right? And to bring blessings to yourself.
Yeah.
So thank you. Any final words, Adrienne, that you have to share?
Yeah, I think one thing when I came here, the thought was, I'm here to give. I want to give this, which is a great thing. But what I really learned is how much I received. So what did and you're not coming because you're wanting it back, but that's what happens. To feel like I learned this and I took this wisdom with me, and this was such a powerful experience, and it reaffirmed my faith, and it reaffirmed my belief in humanity, to see the Back Bay staff and how just dedicated and how much love and empathy and it's for you guys. It's not just work, and I don't think a lot of people can say that about their jobs. You
Yeah.
go in, you do your job, but these are your family, and how much you love and care for them, really for my faith in humanity.
That's a beautiful gift. We have this one thing up at our Micah Day Center, which is our center for people who are experiencing homelessness, says humankind. Be human and be kind, be both, right? And I think that's really critical. So I'm glad you saw that, because I think that really is at the core of Back Bay Mission. And of course, we hope you come back next year. Bring more people with you, just because it's really uplifting for us to hear your stories and to see you changed by the work that's done here too. So appreciate your time and your energy, and thank you for sharing with people that will watch this, and with Kevin and with myself.
And I hope people who are watching this, if you haven't done this before, or maybe you feel, I'm not handy, or I don't have the skill set, you will bring your own talent, and you will bring your own skill set. So whether that's your heart, or you're a quick learner, maybe you do become handy, or maybe you really have a way of like connecting with people. It's a varying skill set, and it really isn't as maybe like intimidating as you might think that it is.
And in the words of Adrienne, quote I'm going to take away from this is the greatest tool she has is her heart. I think the greatest tool, honestly, any of us have is really our heart, because that's where love and mercy and goodness come from. So thank you for joining us today. Many blessings. Continue to support Back Bay with your prayers, with your love, with your energy, with your heart. So peace to you, and peace to your family.